All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the podcast you have been waiting for. And if you haven't been waiting for it, then there is that I just can't understand why not. But we are here at the very first ever annual Dafcademy Awards, which is our version of the Oscars, which is a lot more fun. We don't have best cinematography, best sound design, best foreign film. Who watches foreign films? They got words at the bottom. You got to read the damn things. So anyway, no, that's not true. That's not true. We're big foreign film fans. I should probably clarify that. So yes, we're here on the red carpet, anxiously awaiting tonight's grand ceremony. Frankie, how are you doing? Hey, are you feeling pumped tonight?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited. And
Mm-hmm.
we have no campaigning for our awards.
Mm.
They're just awarded as they should be based on each film's merit. And we have
Yes.
46 films with
Ooh.
nominations tonight.
Wow.
And 22 of those have three or more.
Mm. Oh, okay.
Would you like to know who has the most nominations?
Yes, absolutely. Let's
Okay,
have it.
it's quite surprising,
Mm.
kind of.
Mm.
The film with the most nominations at 12
Mm.
is Deadpool and Wolverine,
Wow. Okay.
which is quite surprising.
Hmm.
Close behind with 11 is Terrifier 3.
Really? No, I'm actually genuinely surprised
I don't know how you're surprised about that.
because I didn't think it had that many
But
nominations. But anyway, cool.
I think one half of the Academy was,
The Daft Academy.
yes, it was quite into that movie. And then three movies are tied with eight nominations, which is Longlegs, Roadhouse, and
Oh,
Lisa Frankenstein.
nice, nice. So yeah, so that's the thing. Like, this is kind of harking back to the MTV Movie Awards back when it was actually around and actually good. Where this is fun stuff. We've got fun categories. This whole thing was Frankie's brainchild like a year ago. When we first started doing our podcast, Frankie came to me and said, "Oh my God, what if we do like an awards thing?" And we started coming up with all these ideas. Every winner tonight will get a golden cat trophy in spirit. And yeah, so like what was your inspiration behind all of this? Like what motivated you to want to do this?
Well, it's just fun.
Hmm.
It's just nice. Like you do your top movies of the year, but then there's a lot of other movies that aren't your favorite movies of the year that
Mm.
have standout things in them
Hmm.
and that you don't often get to talk about.
Yeah.
Like some of our categories, they're just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can think about other films.
Do you want to mention what a few of the categories are? We won't mention all of them to keep it a surprise for people, but what are some of the more interesting ones?
Well, we do have a best hair category because we love our hairstyles.
Clearly.
We have the person who needs a slap the most, which is a fun one.
Hmm.
Um, the person stealing the most, like who steals the scenes in
Hmm.
the film.
Yep.
Hottest accent,
Hmm.
which of course is different things to different people depending where you're from.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're the sort of. Oh, and we have movie boyfriend and girlfriend because
Yeah,
who doesn't want to have a crush on a fictional character?
exactly.
Yeah.
And look, I am actually so excited about tonight that I've even brought my mother with me to the Red Cup because we ran out of Monster Energy. So yeah, I'm drinking that tonight. But anyway, but look, you look ravishing. Who are you wearing tonight? I mean, that's a red carpet question, isn't it?
Yes, this is by Princess Highway.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Yes, I myself am wearing. I think it's Kmart tonight. Yeah, for those of you who are listening to this, yes, I've busted out my tuxedo T-shirt that I actually once bought to wear to a screening of The Room in a cinema. A bunch of us wore tuxedo shirts and threw a football around. But anyway, um, All right. Well, yeah. So this is going to be just a very typical kind of awards thing. We're going to go through who the nominees are, followed by who our winners are. Now, there's going to be two winners because obviously Frankie and I each have our personal preferences. So, yeah, every category will be getting two winners, but we also have the People's Choice category where we've had a bunch of people on social media who are just as excited as we are about this, and they have submitted their personal picks for winners for each category. So thank you to everybody who contributed. That was absolutely amazing, and I can only imagine we're going to get a lot more next year. So yeah, next year's show may go for about 10 hours. Who knows? Uh,
We shall see.
um, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I don't know about you. Without further ado, should we head inside the amphitheater and get this show on the road?
Yeah, I'm excited to see who wins.
All right, let's go. All right, here we are. We're now inside the Grand Amphitheater, located somewhere in the world. Who knows? And yeah, I mean, everything's been said. What do you say? We just get struck straight into it. I mean, I know
Yeah.
like awards ceremonies, like the hosts have a big stand-up routine, and they point to people in the audience and roast them and stuff. But yeah, we don't really have an
Yeah,
audience.
one of
So,
the many differences in ours, and something that I probably should have mentioned outside when we were doing our little preamble, but um, we've taken some liberties with release dates,
hmm,
and there's at least one movie that is a 2024 movie in Australia, but was
hmm,
2023 elsewhere, but we're
hmm.
including it because it was a 2024 movie in Australia. And then on the other hand, there's a movie that is a 2025 movie in Australia, but was 2024 overseas. So we're including that as
Yeah.
well. So
Yes. So
there
don't
is
write
that.
to us and go, oh, you couldn't have picked that movie because it came out in something. It
Yeah,
premiered at the
it's
Tallinn Black Night Film Festival in
yeah,
Estonia.
it's our awards. We can make up the rules and make them as
Exactly.
flexible as we need to get things done. And we're also different from other ceremonies because instead of showing you a clip or
Mm,
a picture of the person or whatever, we're just going to have a bit of a discussion um,
mm.
before we announce our winners so that
Yeah.
we can talk about why we loved them and
Yeah.
you guys can maybe check out the movies if you don't know them. And we're going to be
Hmm.
spoiler free. So the best horror kill
Mm.
is going to be very vague
Yes.
because we don't want to give away things if you haven't
No.
seen the movie, but we'll
Yeah.
just give
If you know,
enough
you
so
know.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And well, yeah, I mean, two reasons why we're not going to be showing clips. One, I'm not going to go through that much work editing this thing. My God, no, that would how many films did you say? Like 40 something movies?
46.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting clips
But
from
we've got all the
46 movies.
nominees too. It's not even that. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
we've
yeah,
got
exactly.
up to
So
six nominees
no,
for every category.
exactly. And not only that, but people listening to the audio podcast, it's going to be kind of lost on them, like
Yeah.
if we have
Well, I mean,
video
they,
clips.
yeah, well,
So
they'd hear it, but yeah, it's
yeah,
not,
yeah,
not the
true.
same.
All right. Well, without further ado, it is time to get into our first category for the first ever annual Dafcademy Awards, starting with Best Opening Titles. So the nominees for Best Opening Titles are Deadpool and Wolverine, Mads, Lisa Frankenstein, Maxine, and Strange Darling. Uh, yeah, so I mean, there were, it's a funny thing with best opening titles because yeah, sometimes things can be so creative and just really memorable. And yeah, other times there's just words on the screen. But these movies really did something to stand out. So, do you want to?
Yeah, there's not a lot of movies these days. Like some movies don't even really have opening titles.
Well,
It's just
exactly.
just stick the name on the screen,
Mm,
maybe, and that's it. So
yeah, yeah,
also, I don't remember the titles so well unless it's something really massive, like we had with Evil Dead Rise
exactly.
previous
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, some interesting things like Maxine had a little opening scene, and
Hmm.
then Maxine got in her car to drive away, and the camera panned down to show that Maxine was the number plate
Right,
after all the
right.
opening credits had happened. So that one
Nice.
was really fun.
Well, speaking of cars, like Mads stuck out to me when I saw that because you see the title on screen and it's like, okay, like, there's the, but then the guy's car is driving towards it and the word's getting bigger. And then all of a sudden you realize it's actually part of the scenery and he drives under the word as he goes through. And I just thought that was so clever. But who for you was the winner for the best opening titles that you saw in 2024?
Well, I have to give it to Deadpool and Wolverine because
Hmm.
I actually did a whole sequence
Mm,
during the opening credits, which I kind of like. I kind of miss opening credits in movies when
mm.
they're done creatively. And this was like a big fight scene thing happening at the same time.
Ultra
So
violent.
I really enjoyed that.
Okay, cool, cool. So congratulations to Deadpool and Wolverine for Frankie's choice for the first that movie wins the first ever Golden Cat trophy. But for me, I am going against that one, and I'm actually going to choose Lisa Frankenstein. Um, I am a sucker for artistic, really just gorgeous looking title sequences like that. And I love the fact that it told a whole story, leading into like the backstory kind of thing, about the characters and stuff. It was almost, in a way like in The Substance, which I unfortunately that wasn't the opening titles. Otherwise, I think it would have won. But where it had the star on the Walk of Fame and the things happening to it, and that told a whole story. So, yeah, for me, Lisa Frankenstein was the winner of that category. I absolutely loved it. And if you guys want to check that out, the opening title sequence is on YouTube. So you can go and just have a look at that if you want to. So congratulations, Deadpool and Wolverine and Lisa Frankenstein, first ever winners. But our People's Choice Awards, we had our good friend Fraser Jubb from Scotland, who he also chose Deadpool and Wolverine. And our also good friend Sean from Buffy Prescott, who, if you think, wait a minute, what is a Buffy Prescott? Go on to Spotify, check out this guy's music. He is amazing. It is just some of the greatest Australian alternative hip hop rock, like sort of a whole fusion of genres. And he's just such a nice guy. And he has chosen Longlegs for his winner for the opening titles. So yeah, so thank you very much, Fraser. And I'm just going to call him Buffy. It's a cool name. Like, you know. All right, moving on to the next category. What have we got coming up next?
Next is Best Costumes. So
Hmm.
our nominees are Lisa Frankenstein, Late Night with the Devil, Dune Part 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Nosferatu, and Beetlejuice.
All right. Well, yeah, I have seen most of those movies. Also, yeah, kind of a disclaimer. I didn't get to see too many movies last year, but yeah, I have absolutely seen one, two, three, four of these ones at least. So, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean, for Beetlejuice, it's pretty much the same as Beetlejuice.
yeah. Fair enough. All right. So what are you thinking for this one then?
I have to, like, I had some options, but then once we decided that Nosferatu is eligible this year, I kind of have to give it to that because
Hmm.
it's, period time. So it's very
Mm.
pretty, interesting clothes. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I have to
Hmm.
go with that.
Cool. Well, being that I have not yet seen that one, I'm even though it wasn't a favorite movie of mine from last year, I'm actually going to go with Dune Part 2. Because one thing that I did appreciate of the film was it did look good. I thought the story was a little lackluster, but it still looked amazing, and the costume design in that film I thought was out of this world. And I did not mean that as a pun at first, but I'm gonna own it. So yeah. So yeah, for my choice, I think Dune Part Two was the winner for me.
Love that you
Um
can't help but put a disclaimer there. Like, if you pick it for best costume, which is exactly what this award is for,
yes,
then people might mistakenly think you loved the film.
I know we can't have that. Okay. No, yeah, because like I bought the first one on Blu-ray. I was like, oh my God, like I really enjoyed that film. And then the second one came along. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to own it on Blu-ray, but maybe I will to look at the costumes again. Who knows? Yeah. So anyway.
We have a few people's choice for this as
Hmm.
well. Fraser picked Gladiator 2, which
Mm.
I still have not seen.
I have not seen either, but can imagine that the costumes in that were
Yeah.
probably pretty amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm drinking on stage. Mm.
And and then Buffy Prescott had The Vordelak, which
Hmm.
I also did not get to see, but is also period setting. So
Yeah,
yeah,
those
just
movies are always a shoe-in for best costumes, aren't they?
yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, I did enjoy Late Night with the Devil because
Mm.
you know how much I love my 70s style. But yeah,
Yeah.
it can't beat the prettiness of going back in time.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's
Further
fair
back
enough.
in time.
Look, I was a big fan of the whole production design of Late Night as well. I thought it looked so authentic, even down to the extras sitting in the audience. Like, everybody just looked incredible. But there was just so much more work and effort put into Dune Part Two. So yeah, that was why that one got it for me. But anyway, so yes, congratulations to Nosferatu and Dune Part Two for winning Golden Cat trophies. My God, you can just imagine all the people who made the Robert Eggers right now is like, are you serious? I just got a Golden Cat trophy. Holy shit. In spirit. All right, moving on to the next one. We have funniest actor, which is yeah, like very typical for the kind of categories that we're aiming for with the Dafcademy Awards. So our nominees for funniest actor, starting with Nick Cage from Long Legs, which I guess that was funny. We have Ryland Hughes from Hundreds of Beavers, Ryan Gosling for The Fall Guy, David Howard Thornton for Terrifier 3, Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool and Wolverine, and Ken Jeong for the 4:30 movie. So yeah, I'm still questioning Nicolas Cage's nomination for this one, but
He's
uh,
hilarious in the movie. I watched this. I just had a gleeful smile on my face every
mm,
time he's in screen. When he's singing that song about letting him in, did you not find that funny?
I found it chilling. I don't know. Maybe
It's
it
just
was I don't have that defense mechanism or something. I don't know, but yeah,
no,
that one really hit me.
just his performance was so fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fair enough. But look, oh man, in terms of which of these performances made me laugh the most, I've got to give it to David Howard Thornton for Terrifier 3. I mean, ordinarily, I love Ryan Reynolds. I love that guy to death. Like I can just look at a still picture of him and I laugh. He just exudes humor. But in terms of just how much I laughed, I just thought David Howard Thornton in Terrifier 3, and it was that kind of thing, like I don't know, just so many nuances in what he was doing, like picking up certain dismembered body parts and, reacting to them and things like that. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but yeah, so I know I'm a little bit biased towards that film, but he genuinely made me laugh the most. So yeah, I'm giving the cat to
I
David.
know that it is a comedic performance, but
Mm,
also it's a very disturbing movie. So I just think
yeah.
it's funny that you're so confused about Nicolas Cage, but
That,
then
hey,
you
touche.
reward that.
But Longlegs to me wasn't like a comedy horror, you know. So that's my defense on that one.
I don't think you have to be in a comedy movie to give like a funny performance
That is absolutely fair enough. Yeah.
because a lot of horror movies do have comedic moments
Mm,
in them
yeah, that's
and
true.
are fun without being
Mm,
a horror comedy. I
absolutely.
actually am surprised about Ryan Reynolds because I find Deadpool just the most annoying
Mm,
ever. So I don't think he's funny.
yeah,
I
yeah, right.
mean, maybe we should have a category for most annoying actor and or annoying character, I should say. And then,
Next year. Yep.
yeah, we'll have to bring that in.
Yes,
We've got people
definitely.
being slapped, but I guess being annoying is a different
Mm,
thing. We'll see.
yeah, yeah.
But and
All right.
Ryan Gosling is also excels when he's doing a more comedic role.
Mm,
And he saved this film for me because I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it like
hmm.
I was hoping to.
Yeah,
But yeah, he was really good. But I have to give mine to Ryland Hughes for Hundreds of Beavers because
cool.
that movie just is so much fun and
Hmm.
so funny, especially that first half hour.
Right,
So
right.
good.
Hmm.
And that's like with Art the Clown.
Hmm.
There's no speaking, not a lot of
Yeah.
speaking. It's all so yeah, it's really, body
Hmm.
comedy. So
Yep. Nice, nice. Yeah, no, I haven't seen the film, but from what I have seen of it, yeah, his performance looked really over the top, kind of like you always said, like Buster Keaton style humor, and yeah. So yeah, no, I'm so keen to see that movie. But yeah, so congratulations to Ryland Hughes and David Howard Thornton. The two of you each get a Golden Cat trophy in spirit. So we had three People's Choice picks for this one. Our distinguished colleague JM, Jean-Marc Manning, we'll just go with JM. He also picked, well, no, I shouldn't say also because we didn't pick, but he picked Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool and Wolverine. Buffy Prescott also picked Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool and Wolverine. And then Fraser Jubb came in with an unusual choice. He went with Keegan Michael Key for Transformers 1. Keegan, of course, played Bumblebee in that film, and I have not seen it, but
I have not seen it either.
no, I'm keen to. Like, it does look good, but yeah, I thought that was a very interesting choice. So thank you, Fraser, and congrats to Ryan. You get an honorary Golden Cat trophy. You just get like the litter box that it comes in or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. Who we got next?
Okay, so now we're on to funniest actress.
Hmm.
So nominees are Catherine Newton in Lisa Frankenstein, Dakota Johnson in Madam Web,
Which was
Mia.
kind of an ironic pick, but you know.
You interrupted me. Mia Goth in Maxine, Emma Stone in Kinds of Kindness, Mikey Madison in Honora, and Hong Chow in The Instigators.
Hmm. Yes, I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt, but yeah, the yeah, Dakota Johnson, you know, that was a different kind of funniest actress. That was one of those ones where she didn't mean to be funny, but oh my God, like you just couldn't help laugh every time she spoke or, you know, anything. So all right. So who are you leaning towards at the moment?
I enjoyed a lot of these movies. I haven't seen Madam Web, but I
You're so
enjoyed the
lucky.
rest of the movies. And I have to give it to Catherine Newton for Lisa Frankenstein
Hmm.
because that that was just such a fun film and she was so
Mm.
great in it. So
Hmm.
she has to get it.
Yeah. Look, I've seen two of the films on this list. Uh, one of them was Madam Web, and the other one, of course, was Lisa Frankenstein. Dakota Johnson can burn in hell, so I am also giving the cat trophy to Catherine Newton. There we go.
So she get two cats.
Does she get two cats or just one because we both picked it? I don't know. No, she can have two cats. Like, yeah, only cool people have two cats, right? Ah. Yeah, so there you go. Well done,
Hmm.
Catherine. You were the funniest person according to the Dafcademy.
And we have a couple of people's choice.
We do.
Buffy Prescott chose Maisie Estella from My Old Ass,
Hmm.
and Fraser chose Catherine Newton as well.
But for Abigail, funnily enough.
Hmm.
So yeah, I thought that was actually quite interesting that we had her for Lisa Frankenstein. So obviously she was a really entertaining actress last year because yeah, she's getting nominated for all sorts of movies.
Hmm.
All right, moving on to and this next category, if you know Frankie, you know that this was all her. So we are coming down now to the very important category of best hair. Um, oh wow, you're gonna make me try and say this name, aren't you? All right.
I did use Google Translate to look it up.
Okay, cool. We are starting with, God damn it, Swan Alord. Swan
No,
Alord.
no D sound. It's more
Oh
like
no.
alu
Allo. Swan
alu.
Allo from Anatomy of a Fall. No, I won't say Anatomy of a Fall. Swan Allo. We've got Cole Sprouse from Lisa Frankenstein, Nicolas Cage for Longlegs, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, Hugh Jackman for Deadpool and Wolverine, and Mia Goth for Maxine. Um, yeah, Sebastian Stan, that was another kind of ironic nominee because but the way that
Your half of the academy has some weird criteria for,
well,
celebrating people in these movies, and then there's these
yeah,
categories that have choices for ironic reasons and
well,
not.
kind of. It's only ironic because they actually did a really great job of recreating Donald Trump's hair.
Also,
Um,
you're talking technically best rather than what looks the
yeah,
best.
yeah. I mean, it looked ghastly, and there was so many scenes where his, because he's a rampant narcissist, he'd sort of stop and look at himself in reflections, and be brushing his hair to one side and stuff like that. There was a lot of focus on the hair in that movie, and it did look very authentic to the to the time period and stuff. Yeah, but who do you reckon is your choice for the winner of best hair?
I mean, everyone remembers what was going on when Anatomy of a Fall came out. Like, that's just some great hair. And no one, I mean,
You're
Cole
a big fan of
Sprouse
that.
does have the nice sort of wavy, dark, longish kind
Mm.
of hair, and that was fun. But
Hmm.
I mean, gotta have our hot lawyer hair. Like,
Oh,
he
okay.
he gets
So
it.
so the cat goes to oh, you're making me say it again. Swan Allure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Oh, yeah. It shouldn't surprise me though, because yeah, you spoke for hours about that hair. Like I remember we had a conversation on Messenger, and I was like trying to talk about other things, newsworthy events, and you're like, yeah,
Oh,
but what about the lawyer's hair? Like, yeah.
yeah,
So
don't just make that into a big weird thing that it wasn't actually.
I know, I know. I'm very much exaggerating right now. Look, for me, there is only one choice for me. In terms of hair that defined a character in so many ways, I'm throwing this one to Nicolas Cage for Long Legs because if that character didn't have that long, stringy, weird hair that looked like it hadn't been washed in weeks and stuff, like I don't think the character would have worked as well. I think the hair was so integral to the look. So
Ah, look at you bringing a whole like proper answer instead of me
I
just going,
know.
he just had the best looking hair.
Yeah. I know. I've gone from like, Donald Trump's hair is shit to Nicolas Cage's hair was integral to the character. Yeah, no, I've got to hand it to him. So congratulations to Swan Arroyo and Nicolas Cage. You have both been awarded
We have
Golden
no
Cat
French people
trophies.
listening.
Yes, I do apologize. I haven't spoken French in a very long time. Anyway, we do have people's choice picks for this one. Uh,
Interesting ones.
Interesting ones, yeah. I haven't seen this movie, so I don't really know what the
You
deal is
you
here.
you can Google and see.
Right, right. So Fraser Jubb has chosen Dwayne the Rock Johnson from Red One. See, for me, I'm kind of like Dwayne the Rock Johnson for best hair. Really? Okay. Is
Exactly.
that another ironic one?
Mm.
But no, I'm guessing not. And Buffy Prescott has picked Kristen Stewart from Love Lies Bleeding as his choice
Which
for best hair.
I'm guessing must be another sort of for the character thing because
Mm,
she has a mullet that
right.
is just a bit kind of greasy and
Mm,
yeah.
okay, fair enough. I haven't seen that one, so
I mean,
yeah, I
perfect for
don't
the
know.
character and the
Yeah.
time setting of the movie, but I wouldn't
Mm,
say it looked nice. But
yeah.
it's just my taste.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's fair enough. All right. All right, moving on. What do we got next?
Okay, next is best fight scene.
Hmm.
And this is another one that is hard to remember details.
Hmm.
So, first nominee is Kill, and pretty much take your pick. Then Deadpool and Wolverine for Deadpool versus Multi Deadpools.
Hmm.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes for Noah versus Proximus.
Hmm.
And Roadhouse for Dalton versus Knox.
Hmm. Right. Um, I have not seen Kill. So, but from what I've heard about it, like the fight scenes are pretty exhilarating in that film. Um, yeah. Noah versus Proximus, it's that was a bit of a tricky choice because it wasn't really like a fight scene in the traditional sense of the word, but something happens in that scene that was just so freaking amazing. And of course, I cannot talk about what it is because you haven't seen it. But yeah, if you know, you know. So yeah, it was more of a confrontation scene in a way, but yeah, but I still absolutely loved it.
Oh,
But
we didn't say it had to be physical fights.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. But look, for me, frickin' Roadhouse, man, that movie, and particularly that fight, Dalton versus Knox, my God. Yeah, I was blown away because I had only seen the original Roadhouse not long before that remake came out. That was a movie that escaped me at the time. And I just never got around to seeing it. I watched it, I thought it was okay, and then the remake comes along, sat down and watched that, and I was blown away. I thought that was, in terms of improvement on quality, I thought it was one of the best remakes I've ever seen. Um,
Wow.
but the fight scenes in that film were just amazing. Not just the choreography, but the way they were filmed, like with the camera just kind of like moving around with the people and stuff. Like I loved it. So yeah, I'm giving the gold cat to Roadhouse on this one. Mm.
I am giving mine to Kill because, I
Hmm.
mean, most of that movie is fighting on a train that's
Yeah.
traveling, and yeah, it was just a really fun
Hmm.
film. So
Cool. All
yeah.
right. Well, congratulations to Kill and Roadhouse. You both score yourself some golden kitty cats.
People's choice. We have Wolverine versus Deadpool in the car scene,
Hmm.
and Pushpa 2 is Soul York,
Hmm.
which I have not seen that movie, so
No.
I do not know anything about that fight scene.
Hmm.
And Fraser has picked final fight scene in Bad Boys 4, which I also have not seen.
Yes, which I can't imagine I will ever see because I'm just not a fan of that franchise. But Sol York did add as well, I submit Pushpa 2 for the best fight scene. Mike Danton himself would be hard pressed to defeat this dude. So I just had to add that because yeah, anytime someone throws in a Deadly Prey reference, that's getting read out. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
have not heard of that. I'll have to look it up.
I did look it up, and the poster looked interesting. It had a very menacing man on it. It's a
Yeah.
foreign film, which is
Oh,
probably pretty clear by the name of the movie. But yeah. So oh yeah, it looked pretty cool.
well, that is an
Um,
interesting poster.
it is, isn't it? So
Hmm.
yeah, and I mean, well, at least Soul said Mike Danton would be hard pressed to defeat this dude. He didn't say this dude would defeat Mike Danton because we all know that nobody defeats Mike Danton. I'm sorry. Even Chuck Norris himself couldn't hold a candle to the Dant. All right, so coming up next. All right, this is an interesting one. We have got best villain. Now considering that last year there were a lot of really great horror films that came out. Yeah, this was quite a easy one to fill, but we're starting with our first nominee is Josh Hartnett for Trap. We have James McAvoy for Speak No Evil, Conor McGregor for Roadhouse. We've got Alicia Weir for Abigail, Nicolas Cage for Longlegs, and I wish the
Did
font
it to
was
you
bigger.
again.
We have Karen Caraguilian. Is that right? Karen
I,
Karen.
I just forgot to look that one up.
Yeah, I just kind of wish the font was bigger, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. Karen Caraguilian for Anora. So yeah, out of these, I've seen three of the films. How many have you seen in this category?
I've seen all of them.
Ooh, listen to you. Oh, I just found out how to enlarge the font. Karen Caraguilian. Yes, I got it right.
Yes,
No, I
I will
didn't.
just say,
Karen Caragulian, sorry. No, oh, there was a random
um,
I threw into her name. And if Karen Caragulian is listening right now,
it's
I
a
apologize.
man. He played Tauros in Anora, who is not like a super villain, but he is the guy sent by
Hmm,
by the father um, to Anora, and so
right.
he was like he's in the land of fun villain rather than very evil villain.
Cool. In my defense, many people with the name Karen are
I
female.
know, which is why I
Whoops.
wanted to let you know that.
All right. So Karen with because it's got two R's. Maybe it's Karen. I don't know. Karagulian. My God, I have butchered this poor guy's name. I've butchered his gender. I honestly, if he is listening or they, I don't know what pronouns he goes by. I deeply apologize for this. What an unprofessional awards show this is. Good luck finding yourself a co-host next year, lady.
Luckily, we are the Academy.
That's right. Yes. Whoopsie days. All right. Who are you leaning towards for giving a cat?
Well, there is a lot of good options here,
Isn't
but
there?
um, I do have to go with Nicolas Cage because
Hmm.
even though the character of Longlegs is a little pathetic, he is still such an interesting character
Hmm.
and so much screen presence and everything that
Hmm.
he he has to win it.
Oh yeah. Look, let's face it. If he hadn't put in that performance last year, I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor would be winning it because that role was insane. Like I didn't know much about Conor McGregor. I knew that he was like an MMA fighter or something like that.
Mm.
But I didn't even know what he looked like. I'd heard the name before. But the way he portrayed that character just so over the top and scary. Like the level of insanity that character had was actually intimidating. But yeah, I've got to hand it to Nicolas Cage as well because that performance and that character, the way he was written,
Mm.
um, was just everything you want to see in a horror movie villain. I mean, he was unique. He was like nothing we'd ever seen before. He was absolutely insane. Like that was that was one of the most genuine like portrayals of insanity that I've seen in a film in a very long time. And that just made him so much more scarier. You know, he was unpredictable. He was so congratulations, Nicolas Cage. You have just scored yourself two cats. Thanks, bro. Yeah, no, it was hard to beat that one. Yeah. So for People's Choice, we got a whole bunch this time. So Fraser Jubb, he picked Chris Hemsworth for Furiosa. We have Nick from the Movie Emporium, which is a awesome YouTube channel. YouTube channel, on the other hand, which yes, you should all go check out. If you just whack in Movie Emporium into the search thing, you'll find him. So yes, he chose Dennis Quaid from The Substance as his best villain. And then JM and Buffy Prescott both also chose Nicolas Cage for Longlegs, because yeah, because he was just the best, you know. You don't beat that one. So yeah, there
Mm.
you go. Actually, why in God's name did the Dafcademy not nominate Art the Clown for this one? Uh so something went wrong there. I'm gonna have to have a serious word with the board about this, because I don't agree with that. But look, in all honesty, I've got to admit, even if, and this is how much I love Nick Cage in that movie, I would still choose him over Art the Clown. Like, I know, shock horror. But anyway, speaking of horror, what do we got next?
All right, best horror kill.
Woohoo!
So we'll be a bit vague.
Yeah.
So we've got Late Night with the Devil,
Hmm.
Long Legs, specifically for a door knocking scene early in the film,
Hmm.
but also could be joined with a person in a car later
Yes.
on.
Very good.
Then we have In a Violent Nature
Hmm.
for the yoga kill,
Hmm.
as everyone has heard about.
Yep.
The First Omen for, that might be a spoiler to say.
Yeah, okay, let's just
For
go with It's All for You. That's that's
um,
that's what we'll say.
Terrifier 3 for the rats,
Hmm.
and Immaculate for the ending.
Right. All right. Yeah, there were some pretty damn good kill scenes last year, wasn't there?
Mm.
Like, I mean, I know the quality of horror movies overall was just exemplary, but yeah, we had some pretty shocking moments throughout the year. So yeah, so where are you? Where's your brain going with this one?
Well, I have two that stood out for me for being surprising.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to pick between them.
Hmm. What, you mean you didn't have the winner written down and put in an envelope that we can open and stuff? Are you
Well,
making this up as we go
I
along?
do have the winner written down, but now that I'm
Hmm.
looking at it, I'm like, should I go with that one or should I
Hmm.
go with the other one?
Hmm.
Um, but I'm going to go with that one. I'm going to give mine to Longlegs for
Oh.
the door knocking scene because that happened pretty early on
Hmm.
and is very surprising.
Yeah, that
And
was a shock, wasn't
it
it?
really is one of the most standout scenes of the whole film for me.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
So I have to give it to that.
yeah. No, that's fair enough. Look, yeah, I do have a winner, but yeah, there were so many really good ones. I mean, First Omen, that scene just really chilled me. Like, yeah, I thought that was just really kind of disturbing. That one from In a Violent Nature was amazing. I mean, it was so creative and stuff. But I don't know, I kind of looked at it and thought, oh yeah, like, it's cool. The one scene that really got me though was Terrifier 3 with the rats. That it's not often that I'll watch a scene like that in a movie and think, oh my God, what the fuck were they thinking? But that was one of them. That was so extreme. Um,
It's funny that
yeah.
you just speak like that considering all the other things that are in that film.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I did think about this when nominating because I thought, okay, obviously this film has a lot. There's the chainsaw scene, there's the opening scene, the oh my God, so many, the Santa Claus. But for me, that one made me feel the most
Mm.
uncomfortable, you know? Like what the fuck? Honestly, it was terrible in the best possible way. I mean, I love it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, that one wins for me. So congratulations, Longlegs. Congratulations, Terrifier 3. You both score yourself golden kitty cats.
Okay, People's Choice. Buffy Prescott picked the yoga kill from In a
Mm-hmm.
Violent Nature. JM had several favorites from Maxine,
Mm.
and Fraser Jubb chose Alpacalypse,
Which
which
is
is a
this
film I do not know,
It is the sequel to
but I can guess.
Llamageddon.
Uh,
So yeah, which I have not seen Alpacalypse yet, but I am a massive fan of Llamageddon. That movie was
I think you've
incredible.
lent that to me. I think I have it on my shelf.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's oh fuck, it's amazing. So I'm really keen to see Alpacalypse. Actually, Fraser was the one who got me onto Llamageddon in the first place. So yeah, big thank you to Fraser for
So it seems the sequel holds up,
yeah, he said
or at
in
least has
some
a
ways,
good
like,
kill in it.
yeah. Well,
I mean, it's
yeah.
his kill of the year, so
Unless I'm sort of thinking he might have chose that one ironically, like,
uh,
with Dakota Johnson for funniest actress. I don't know, but anyway, we just appreciate that contribution. All right, moving on. Another one that is a very Frankie kind of choice here, but
but
we hey.
I was just going to say it
Mhm.
actually was a bit difficult.
Yeah, oh, and there's that name again. God damn it. Okay. We are going with the award for the hottest accent. So which clearly, yeah, well, I don't know. Some of them are maybe real accents, some no, actually, no, I think maybe they're all real accents. I don't know. But anyway,
I think
the
so.
nominees for
Oh,
hottest
maybe no, not one of them is not, but
Okay. The nominees for hottest accent, we have, God damn it, Swan Owl for
oh my
Anatomy
god.
of a Fall. Swan
Everyone, don't
Alors.
worry, he's not nominated for any further awards, so
Oh,
you
thank
don't have
fuck.
to hear that name
don't,
said
have,
that way
don't
again.
have to hear me throwing up his name. Yeah, so Swan Owl for Anatomy of a Fall. James McAvoy for Speak No Evil. Maria Bakalova for The Apprentice. Daniela Melchior for Roadhouse, Sonia Braga for The First Omen, and Dan Stevens for Cuckoo. Now, yeah, being that this is very much your category, like, what are your thoughts on some of these accents? Well, which ones have you seen?
I've
Obviously,
seen
Swan.
most of them. I haven't seen The Apprentice,
Hmm.
so I don't know her accent.
Hmm.
I've seen all the rest. I
Okay,
don't
right.
really remember Daniela from Roadhouse.
I
Or
mean,
like, I don't remember her speaking to
right.
picture or, remember
Hmm.
the accent.
Hmm.
First Omen is Sonia Braga the friend,
Yes, the
the
roommate.
roommate?
Yep,
Mm,
yep.
okay.
Hmm.
There's some pretty good accents,
Hmm.
but I can't resist Dan
Hmm.
Stevens speaking with a German accent. Like, I have to give it to him.
Brilliant. Cool. All right. I have seen three of these movies, The Apprentice, Roadhouse, and First Omen. Maria Bakalova, she is awesome. Did you ever see the Borat sequel, subsequent
No.
movie film? So she played his daughter in that, and like they made her up to be just hideously ugly and stuff. But then of course, after the movie came out and everyone found out who she was, it's like, holy shit, she's actually really quite attractive. But she's Bulgarian, so in The Apprentice, she played Ivana Trump, his first wife, and so she had her genuine accent. She's also in Creature Commandos as well. So yeah, but look, that being said, man, I can't get past Daniela Melchior. That South American accent, I can't remember exactly where she's from, but I could just listen to that all day. Yeah. So I'm giving Daniela the cat. Oh, two Dans. So congratulations, Daniela Melchior and Dan Stevens. All the Dans are getting cats. So there you go. So our People's Choice winners for this one, JM chose Mia Goth for Maxine.
That was a fun one.
Okay, I've not seen it, which was really fun when JM spilled a whole bunch of spoilers for Best Kill on social
Oh,
media,
oh,
and I'm
that's right.
reading.
He did, and
He
I was like,
did, yeah, and
oh,
I'm reading through it. I'm just like, so now I know all these things. Okay, that's nice. Fraser Jubb, he picked Beetlejuice for his
nice.
best actor. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Buffy Prescott gave his award to Mikey Madison for Anora. Yeah, there you go. Best accent, or hottest accent, I should say, not best. Whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Music time.
All right. Best use of song in a scene.
Hmm.
This is also one that can be hard to remember. I think I had two straight away, and then
Mm-hmm.
I watched a movie recently, and I was like, yes, I'll use that as my
Mm-hmm.
third.
Nice.
So we've got Blood and Tears by Danzig, which was in Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
MacArthur Park by Richard Harris, which was in Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
Eternal Flame by the Bangles, which was in Speak No Evil. Bye 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 by InSync in Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a Terrifier Christmas in Terrifier 3. And I Can't Fight This Feeling by JoJo in Lisa Frankenstein.
Hmm. Now, just for the record, Frankie and I are massive music fans. So this category is actually quite an important one for us. And my God, yeah, really difficult to narrow it down to one because I mean, for it's a Terrifier Christmas. That was that sort of choir song that was singing when Art the Clown was making well, I can say he was making a blood angel at one point. Like it's not like a huge spoiler, but and it was basically a song that was like talking about the scene and stuff. And I just thought it was amazing. I loved it. But I mean, then you got things like how how nice that scene was in Lisa Frankenstein with I Can't Fight This Feeling, at the piano and stuff. Like I thought that was really cool. But look, I'm going with Bye 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 because the fact that the use of that song in that opening title scene of Deadpool and Wolverine led to so many TikTok videos and memes and just everything. It became like this big cultural thing, and that song, I'm pretty sure it actually like jumped up the charts and stuff because of that thing. Like it went big, but not only that, it was just so entertaining. I know that wasn't actually Ryan Reynolds dancing. It was actually, a trained dancer doing the whole scene and stuff. But I mean, it's the character of Deadpool, so and yeah, it was just so much fun. So yeah, I never thought the day would come where I would give NSYNC an award, but we've reached that point. Here we are.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was surprising. I know
Mm.
you gave it to me to put on the list and you just had the title, and then I had to look up who sang it. And then
Right,
I
right.
was like, oh, yeah, it's them.
It is them, but credit where it's due. So
Well,
yeah.
good choice. There was some good ones. I do love when you have a really strong scene in a movie about that a song plays. That's also a really good song.
Mm,
MacArthur Park in Beetlejuice was such a good scene. It was like really full on, really prominent. That is the weirdest song to exist.
right.
Someone left the cake out in the rain.
Oh, okay.
And so I was really surprised when I found out Richard Harris sang it as well.
Right, right.
But I have to go with Blood and Tears in Abigail.
I knew you would.
That scene was focused on Catherine Newton and
Hmm.
just like what she was doing with the song played, and it's Danzig. So
Hmm.
yeah, I have to
Yeah,
give my statue to that one.
that was really amazing. So yeah, see that this really sums up like just how diverse the Dafcademy Awards are. Congratulations to Danzig and NSYNC for
I
both
actually didn't
winning.
expect Danzig to pop up prominently in a
Mm,
movie like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So as soon as the song started and I heard his voice, I was like, "Is that Danzig?" And
Yeah,
then,
well, hey, I never
yeah,
expected to enjoy listening to an NSYNC song, but here we are.
is it NSYNC? Is that how
Yeah,
you say their name?
NSYNC. Yeah.
Okay,
How have you been saying it?
NSYNC.
Oh, well, there's no I. So
Yeah, but I thought it was just because they're in sync with each other and
yeah.
they're doing things, not NSYNC.
Look, I don't think anyone's gonna, feel too disheartened if you threw in an extra vowel in there. An extra vowel. There's no vowels. Anyway, yes,
Yeah,
congratulations,
but
Danzig.
there's a little star, so the star kind of acts like a little apostrophe, like when you take out
Oh.
a letter.
Look, it's Nasink,
Anyway,
okay?
so we
Yeah. Yes, Danzig and
sync.
Nasink. Congratulations.
People's Choice, we have Compress, Repress from challenges that Buffy Prescott submitted.
Hmm.
And
Be nice.
and then while I had to pass it up for Danzig, Fraser Jubb has given MacArthur Park in Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Exactly. So yes, well done. Thank you. Thank you both for contributing those wonderful people's choice. Look, Frankie and I weren't big Challenges fans, okay, but we respect that other people were, and yeah, and I mean it is Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, so I mean there's
Yes.
that. So
Mm, it's not
let's
all
move
bad.
on. Yeah. Yeah, moving on. We have now the coolest actor. This is not the best actor. This is the motherfucking coolest actor. So getting straight into it, our nominees for coolest actor are Hugh Jackman for Deadpool and Wolverine, Richard Harmon for Low Lifes, Ryan Gosling for The Fall Guy, Conor McGregor for Roadhouse, Jason Bateman for Carry On, and Kyle Gallner for Strange Darling. And I know exactly which ones you chose for nominees. Yeah, actually,
I
but I
have
don't know who you're going to pick for a winner.
I
So this
have
is
not
interesting.
seen Carry On, so I do not
Hmm.
know how cool Jason Bateman was.
Oh, he was the sort of bad guy that like Kylie, my wife, like after we watched that movie, we were just like, holy shit, he was such a great villain because he was one of those villains that he he was doing something extremely nefarious, but he had motivations and reasons and things, and he was kind of also
Wow,
like a
that's a
middleman.
very serious response to this.
Well, hang on, I'm getting there. Kind of like Thanos, in the MCU, like he had his reasons and actually pretty good reasons. But the way that Bateman played that role, because he was kind of this middleman, like getting things done and everything, and he just sort of, had this like real seriousness and determination, and the way he played it was so freaking cool. So, yeah. But anyway, I digress. I don't know. Who
Okay, well,
you
I mean, Richard Harmon's obviously my pick,
mhm.
as anyone who listens to the podcast will know, because I just instantly loved him in that movie. He was
Yeah.
just so sinister as
Mm,
because he's one of two guys that approach this family that are with their camper van, and he's
mm,
just it's kind of creepy, but also
mhm.
just so cool. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was really fun. Hugh
Mhm.
Jackman, Wolverine. Don't everyone knows how cool he is. And Carl Gallner in Strange Darling was, yeah, again, very cool. And then
Mhm.
Ryan Gosling in The Fall Guy, of course, you've got.
Mm. He's always cool.
He's fun, he's a cool action stunt guy.
Mhm.
Conor McGregor, I he's just no.
We've already discussed what he was all about.
he I wouldn't put him as the coolest
Oh,
guy.
really?
No, he said he was weird.
Yeah,
That's
he was
yeah,
cool, weird. Shut up.
no. But this one, it's kind of obvious. I couldn't really pick anyone else, so
Mm.
I have to give it to Hugh Jackman
Oh.
because Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is just like the coolest. So
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, look, this was a tough one for me. Like I haven't seen all of Strange Darling. And it's one of those things that because I've got to start it again, I've kind of omitted it from memory now, so scrap that one. Um I've seen all the other ones. Oh my God, wow. Um look, yeah, Ryan Gosling, always cool, but I mean, that movie was just kind of meh. So
it's not
um
about the movie;
I
it's
know it's
about
not
the
about the
character
movie.
or the
I know.
actor.
No, I know that. But I even thought his character was kind of meh. Like, I don't know. I couldn't really go with that one.
Okay.
Oh man, I really wanted to pick Conor McGregor. I did. He was so freaking cool, to me in that freaking weirdness. But look, yeah, I'm also going with Hugh Jackman, for
I was going
Deadpool
to
and
say
Wolverine.
picking Conor McGregor over Hugh Jackman
Controversy.
that would have just been weird.
That would break the internet. I can only imagine Blue Sky would just blow up with like, I can't believe that Dan gave the award to Connor instead of Hugh. Hashtag Dan is fired. No, anyway, yeah, look, Hugh Jackman is just, yeah, so goddamn cool. And especially as that character. He's just so no nonsense, but just I love the fact that he's one of those just leave me alone, everybody kind of people. Yeah, so nah, it's got to be Hugh. He was absolutely the coolest. Yeah, so we did have a couple of people's choices. Now, to anyone who knows Fraser Jubb, which is me, it is no surprise that Hugh Jackman won the award from him because Hugh Jackman is his most favorite actor of all time.
Mm.
Um, yeah, Fraser is just like the world's biggest Hugh Jackman fan, so that was a no-brainer. And
Nice.
Buffy Prescott gave the award to Kyle Gallner for Strange Darling. So yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I'm glad he
congratulations,
got it.
Hugh. You get two official cats and one unofficial cat, and Kyle Gallner also gets an unofficial cat. So there you go.
Hmm.
All right.
We'll have to take note of who our double cat winners are.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Okay, so on to coolest actress.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Catherine Newton for Lisa Frankenstein,
Mm-hmm.
Lupita Nyong'o for Quiet Place Day One. Hope I said her
Mm-hmm.
name right. Mia Goth for Maxine, Naomi Scott for Smile Two, Melissa Barrera for Abigail, and Margaret Qualley for The Substance.
Yeah. I spoke to several members of the Dafcademy, and a lot of people were very on the fence about nominating Lauren Lavera for this one for Terrifier 3, but she was just too sort of mentally broken to really be cool. So
Mm.
yeah. But there are a lot of really cool women on this list, aren't there?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, I actually don't know. I've just opened the envelope and there's a blank piece of paper in it with whoever you want written on it. No, oh man, like Margaret Qualley. I only just saw The Substance recently, and yeah, she was so freaking cool in it, and yeah, like her character was unhinged, but awesome. Melissa Barrera in Abigail. Yeah, I believe that was my nomination. There was. Yeah, something about her character. She was the one, wasn't she, who went around the room determining everyone's personalities and history and stuff. Was that her character? I
Oh,
think it
I don't
was. Remember when they
remember.
were
I
all in the
think so.
room and and
Yeah, I
and
know there was a thing with her and Dan Stevens's character, but I can't remember
yeah.
if she was doing everyone else or that was just a thing
Hmm. Naomi
later.
Scott was freaking amazing, like in that role. Haven't seen Maxine, haven't seen Quiet Place. Look, I'm giving this one to Catherine Newton because just everything about her, like in terms of costume and everything, but the performance behind that character, yeah, I thought was so much fun and just so freaking cool. And so yeah, I am giving the cat to Cat. I just made that up. That's awesome. Anyway,
I did really enjoy Mia Goth in Maxine because
mm,
Maxine's a fun character and
right,
has tons of attitude, but I am giving it to Naomi Scott for Smile 2 because,
nice.
um, yeah, her performance in that was just really
Hmm.
cool.
It really was, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, go like just see Smile too. We're not going to like elaborate on this too much because this is we could go into like a 10-minute analysis of her performance and why she's cool. But how about instead you just go watch the damn thing? There you go. I
Mm.
said it. Yeah.
All right, people's choice. Fraser has selected Micah Monroe for Longlegs,
Yay!
and Buffy has suggested Anya Taylor-Joy for
Mm.
Furiosa,
Yeah, yeah.
which I have not seen. That's one of my big 2024 movies I haven't got to yet.
Mm. I'm the same, but I definitely agree with Fraser. My God, like I remember at the time, because her Micah Monroe's character in Longlegs, is just so reserved and internal and timid and all of these sort of things. And I thought, wow, like that is, I wonder, because I hadn't really seen any, interviews or anything with Micah. And so I didn't really know how much of that was acting. And then, of course, I went and watched a interview with her, and she's just so bright and bubbly
You not seen
and
her other roles?
I'd seen other roles, but I didn't know what she was like as a person, and how,
Mm.
like, so for all I know, she could have been that timid person, but, just acted really, it's like with Poppy, how she's, in real life, she's just such a timid, quiet spoken person, but she's an absolute beast on stage. But then, yeah, when I saw that and I was like, wow. So that was just complete performance and it just, yeah, really wowed
Mm.
me. So, yeah, no, I approve of that. And I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy just deserves it because she's Anya Taylor-Joy, really. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
need we say more? Um, all right, so we are now moving on to Best Animal, which is yeah, not only Frankie and I are huge music fans, but we are massive animal lovers. So yeah, this was a no-brainer. So we are starting with Snoop from Anatomy of a Fall, played by Messi. We have Frodo from A Quiet Place Day One, played by Schnitzel and Nico. And we have Dogpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, played by Peggy. Um, so I haven't seen A Quiet Place Day One yet, and so it breaks my heart that I can't give the award to the kitty cat because that would make so much sense, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm almost tempted just to do it because it's a cat. You got to give the cat to the cat. But no, look, probably even then, if I had seen it, and even though I am hashtag Team Cat, Messi,
Mm.
my God. So this dog, if you haven't seen Anatomy of a Fall, this dog, there was a scene in the film where it's not a spoiler to say what happens, is it? Like how the dog plays dead. Wait, there you go. I said it. There's a scene where the dog plays dead, and I'm looking at this thing and I'm just like, my God, that is such a realistic looking fake dog, like they did really well there until the dog starts freaking moving and stuff. And it's like, wait a minute. That dog actually acting? Like, yeah. So not only that, but then Messi broke the internet. Social media went berserk with the dog turning up to awards ceremonies and things like that. And yeah, for a little while there, like Messi was just the most famous dog in the world. And so I'm giving the cat to the dog. So yeah, Messi gets it from me. I mean, as much as
Yeah.
Peggy from Deadpool was, yeah, rather, rather unfortunate looking, but yeah, now Messi's performance as far as an actual, their acting ability, hands paws down.
Mm. Yeah, Messi gets it from me as
Yeah,
well, of
yeah.
course,
Oh
because
yeah, for all
it
the
has to
reasons.
happen. And our People's Choice Awards probably don't realize that we included messy because it's a 2024 release in Australia,
Hmm.
even though I don't know where else, but at least in America and for awards things and whatever, it's counted as a 2023 movie.
Yeah, yeah. But
But
that's
I wanted
okay.
to give Messi some love, so
Oh
and
yeah.
Swan's hair, so we had
Yeah.
to include it.
So yes, Messi gets two cats to play with. So yeah, People's Choice. Buffy Prescott gave the cat to the cat. So Frodo from A Quiet Place Day One, and Fraser Jubb gave it to Jean Claude, which was the canine from The Fall Guy. So
I
yeah,
do not remember.
I don't either, but that's because I have kind of omitted a lot of that film from memory, so I only vaguely remember a dog being in there, but
Yeah.
yeah, but that's
Oops.
all right.
Hmm.
Yeah, all right. Moving on.
Okay, so our next one was a weird one. It
Hmm.
is the person to read you bedtime stories.
Yes.
So,
Another typical Dafcademy category, really. But yeah, that's what we do around here.
so we have Dan Stevens, who appeared in Cuckoo and Godzilla X Kong, the whatever the subtitle for this one was. Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool and Wolverine,
Hmm.
Lauren Lavera for Terrifier 3,
Hmm.
Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice and A Different Man, you could say.
Hmm.
Casey Affleck
Astronaut.
for The Instigators and Slingshot, and Hugh Grant, who was in Heretic.
I just, it's so funny that back in the 90s, a bunch of friends and I, we used to mock Hugh Grant so much because, he had that kind of British stutter. So
Mm.
I can't imagine him reading a bedtime story. It's like, once upon a time, there was... Actually, that's more Prince Charles than Hugh Grant. But anyway, yeah, look, I there was one that I thought it's I kind of want it to no, it is my winner, but I don't know if it's the wisest choice because I'm gonna go with Ryan Reynolds for this one.
Wow.
I love that guy's voice. There is just something about the way he talks, which I just find interesting. But the trouble is, he's also so freaking funny that I don't know if you'd get to sleep because it, just the way he even sort of says serious things can sometimes his inflection can be quite amusing. So yeah, as much as you probably would have thought that I would be picking Lauren Lavera to read me to sleep, yeah, I've got to go with Ryan Reynolds for this one. Yeah, I'm giving him the award.
I would really like to give it to Casey Affleck because I do really like his voice,
Hmm.
but I have to give it to Hugh Grant because it's the accent and the kind
Hmm.
of lightness in his voice that
Hmm.
I just think him reading to you would be super relaxing
Hmm.
and really nice to fall asleep to.
Yep, fair enough. All right, congratulations, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Grant. You not only get Golden Cat trophies, but you also get to read us bedtime stories to sleep. So yeah,
Yes.
we got some interesting
And
People's Choice ones for this one, don't we?
yeah, so
I don't
Fraser
know.
Job has picked Art the Clown, which I guess is him saying he needs silence to fall asleep.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good way to interpret that. Hmm.
And Buffy Prescott has chosen Jeffrey Wright from Monk, which
Hmm.
I didn't even know was a 2024 movie that's come out.
There you
So,
go. We learned something. Yeah, no, as soon
but
as I saw Out the Clown, I was like, wait a minute, am I reading this right?
either
Um,
that or you would have like complete silence and you'd be almost off to sleep, and then he would honk the thing
oh
and it would
yeah.
scare you awake.
Or he would just, kind of enact the bedtime story through the art of mime, which could be interesting. I don't know, there's so many ways you could interpret this choice. Like, wow. I think this is easily the most controversial People's Choice that we've had so far, because I just don't know where to go with that. But anyway. Um, all right. So we now are moving on to the category that the Oscars has yet to include. So, hello, Dafcademy Awards got there first, didn't we? That's right. Best stunts. So the yeah, these are obviously just movie choices. So our first nominee for best stunts is the movie Kill. The second one is Deadpool and Wolverine. Then we have The Fall Guy, which kind of a no-brainer. Roadhouse and Dune Part 2. Now, I mean, The Fall Guy is a movie about stunts. It is a love letter to stunt people. Like,
Yeah.
like, is this just a shoe-in or like what's the story?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
I will
know.
just say it gets my
It's gotta
win.
be, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, it's like in the freaking title of the movie. Roadhouse would be close for me. Like I
Yeah,
know,
see, Roadhouse and Kill both have like a lot of fight choreography
and
kind of
really good
stunt
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're good for that.
Mm,
But the Fall Guy has all the like spectacle stuff and
exactly. I
everything.
mean,
So
I know movies like Deadpool and Wolverine, Jude Part 2, like big action movies, of course, have lots of stunts, but realistically, I can't remember any of the stunts from Deadpool and Wolverine or Dune Part 2. I remember a fair few from Roadhouse, but yeah, Fall Guy was just stunt, 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 stunt
mm,
throughout the whole film. So yeah, Fall Guy, two cats, you got it.
yeah.
So the People's Choice. So Fraser Job was a bit more specific. He said the opening scene from The Fall Guy, where Gosling's character plunges like 20 stories or whatever, which yeah, was an amazing opening scene. I remember like when we went and saw it, we was like, oh my God, this is gonna be so good. And then by the 236th time we got to hear that freaking Kiss song, it's like, oh
Oh
wow.
yeah, I had forgotten that was a thing. I had
Oh, that
finally
was a
like got
thing.
over it.
It
Although I
was I
haven't
Was
heard the
Made for
song
Loving
for a
You, wasn't it?
while. Yeah, I'm sure next time I hear
Yeah.
the song it'll come back.
Yeah, I did
After
the
the Bon Jovi in the trailer, they just went
right.
and just decide like any, although I guess maybe it's good they didn't use Bon Jovi because I mean I do like Bon
Mm,
Jovi, so I probably would be fine with it. But at the same time, like why reuse the same song so many
so
times in one movie?
many.
Like you can bring it back, but not that many times.
Yeah, and there was different versions and stuff as well, wasn't
Yeah.
there? Like, yeah. Actually, we should have maybe nominated Bon Jovi for just because it was in the trailer for best use of
Yeah,
a
we should
song.
maybe we should have had like a best trailer category or something.
Actually, yeah. So most annoying person, best trailer. Yeah, oh,
Mm.
best trailer. Oh my God, I'm excited. Okay. So yeah, and the other People's Choice was Buffy Prescott nominated Furiosa for best stunts, which I can only imagine had yeah quite a number of absolutely amazing stunts in that film. But
Mm.
not having seen it, I don't know. Anyway,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, now we move on to the best scene stealer in a movie.
Hmm.
And our nominees are Austin Butler for Dune Part 2, Ed
Hmm.
Harris for Love Lies Bleeding, Austin Emilio
Oh,
for Hitman, Lucas Gage for Smile 2, J.K. Simmons in Red 1, and Ingrid Torelli in Late Night with the Devil.
yeah. Okay, so I have seen three of these films. I've seen June 2, I've seen Smile 2, and I've seen Late Night with the Devil. And one of these was a last minute nominee from me because I actually forgot that Late Night with the Devil was a 2024 film because um yeah, just because of the timing and the release and when it was seen and all of this sort of stuff. So I actually forgot about that film, but yeah, oh man, Ingrid Torelli just every look, Austin Butler in June 2, like I probably would have leaned towards him because yeah, he was amazing in that scene. Um, oh, every scene, every moment that he was on screen, really. But yeah, I'm going with Ingrid Torelli. There were like, I just, it was so entertaining the way that her character was just sitting on the talk in the talk show set, and just kind of sideways glancing into the camera with like this creepy smile on her face. Um, just little moments like that just really won me over. I thought she was so captivating in that film. And yeah, as soon as I knew that Late Night with the Devil was eligible for awards, yeah, straight away I was like, oh my God, yeah, she was it for me. Like, yeah, hands down,
Hmm.
with very close with Austin Butler.
Yeah, there was some good ones. Ed Harris I thought was really fun in Love Lies Bleeding, and
Mhm.
he just was a bit of a weirdo, like a lot of characters in that film. Austin Emilio played Jasper in Hitman. He was like the kind of villain of the movie,
Right, right.
that was kind of out to get our Glenn Powell main character guy. And
Hmm.
he was really fun. He was my favorite part of the movie. And it
Hmm.
made me want to look up other things he's been in.
Hmm.
And Lucas Gage in Smile 2 was the
Mm.
drug dealer. He was really fun. He just um, has a moment where he has to be creepy, and he
Mm.
did that really well. So
Oh
that
yeah.
that was really fun.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm giving it to Austin Butler
Good.
because yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely was like that's him, and in that movie was like the definition of stealing scenes.
Oh
So
yeah. No, I completely agree. Like I said, yeah, that was a very close second for me, but I'm so glad that you gave him the trophy because yeah, no, two great performances there. So yeah, Austin Butler, Ingrid Torelli, congratulations. You two can sleep soundly tonight knowing that you have won yourselves a Dafcademy Award. Hmm.
People's choice. So Fraser Job picked Jim Carrey from Sonic 3, which I
Mhm.
have not seen.
No.
And Nick from the movie Emporium picked Lima from Flow, which I also have not seen because that's a 2025 release in Australia, so it's not
Hmm.
even out yet. And Buffy Prescott picked Dan Stevens for Abigail and Gojira,
Gojira.
Godzilla X Kong, and Cuckoo.
Yes, so basically everything Dan Stevens was in
Yeah,
last year, he
we got a
stole the
lot of Dan
scenes.
Stevens last year, and yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Um, Abigail worried me when it started, but as it went along, we got a bit more of your typical Dan Stevens kind of character. So
Hmm.
that was really fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. All right. So moving on, the next one we have the best friend category. So this is someone who you would like to be best friends with. So we are starting with Phoebe Spengler from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, played by McKenna Grace. We've got the all the leads from the 4:30 movie. Look, whoever they are, but they would just they're in there because they're the kind of crowd that talks movies and comics and all that sort of stuff all day. So yeah, straight away they're going in there. We got Dalton from Roadhouse, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. We've got Alyssa from It Ends With Us, played by Jenny Slate. Benji from A Real Pain, played by Kieran Culkin, and Shane from Snack Shack, played by Nick Robinson, of which I have not seen. Actually, those last three films I've not seen, but anyway, that's all right.
Well, two of them you definitely need to see.
Oh, well, come on. All of them I need to see. I
Well,
need to see them.
okay.
I need to see as many movies as I can before I pass away. But anyway, that's getting a bit morbid. What are your thoughts on this one?
This is a good list, except I have not seen Ghostbusters or the 4:30 movie, so I don't know who those people are.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, yes, I'd like to be friends with Jake Gyllenhaal, and Dalton's a pretty good character
Mm.
to do that. Although, you know, he's got a few
Mm.
issues. Um, Alyssa, and It Ends With Us, she was my favorite part of the movie. She was just super fun and yeah, just basically the perfect kind of best friend that you
Hmm.
would want. And Kieran Culkin, Benji in A Real Pain, like he's a handful, but he's also like, especially for someone like me, he's like the super outgoing, he walks in a room and everyone wants to like hang out with him and all of that. So that's kind of fun. And Shane from Snack Shack is just the best.
Hmm.
He could have been in like I probably should have put him in coolest actor as well because he was such a cool character and
Right.
was really fun. And
Hmm.
so yeah, I'll just say now he's my winner.
Yay! Very good. Well, Phoebe Spengler was in there. I know you haven't seen it, but you saw
Oh yeah, I saw the
Ghostbusters after
first
that.
one.
Yeah, so you know what her
Yeah.
character is like. She's just such a likable character. Like, uh, yeah, you could just have such a fun conversation with her and stuff. Like I said, yeah, the 4:30 movie, the guys from that were just they were the sort of people that I did hang out with back in the 90s and stuff. But look, I'm actually giving this one to Dalton from Roadhouse. I know, as you said, he does have issues, but
Not
man,
everyone has issues. So.
well, but, but look, let's face it, he's the sort of guy that you would just love to have watching your back at all times,
Mm,
I mean, you'd never feel threatened going out in public with a guy like that or anything like
mm.
that. So yeah, and yeah, he just seemed like a really likable kind of a guy and everything. So yeah, no, I've given that one to Dalton from Roadhouse.
Nice.
So congratulations. Well, I can't say the actors because it's the characters who,
Yeah.
yeah. So Dalton and Shane, here are your kitty cats. People's choice. We had Nick from Movie Emporium chose The Whale from Flow, which yes, again we haven't seen, but yeah, good luck being friends with the whale. Just crack open the scuba gear, head on down there. I don't know how that's going to work, but anyway, Fraser Jubb chose Bumblebee from Transformers One, who I can imagine probably would be a lot of fun. And I'm sure my wife Kylie would absolutely be all over that one because she is a huge Bumblebee fan. And Buffy Prescott chose Richard Roundtree from Thelma,
Which I
whatever
have not
his
seen.
character's name was, because that's the actor, but that's all right.
Uh,
That's cool. We know what we mean. Yeah, all right. So there you go. All right. Coming up to something a little controversial now, aren't we? Here we go. Now let's
uh,
be nice to people.
well, this is a fun category. People's choice. Um, everyone went a little crazy with this one.
They did.
But to start with our awards, so this is the person who needs a slap.
Mm.
And so we've got Paul Atreides from Dune Part 2, played by Timothy Chalamet.
Hmm.
JJ from Love Lies Bleeding, played by Dave Franco. Uh, Tashi, Art, and Patrick from Challenges, played by Zendaya, Mike Faced, and Josh O'Connor.
Hmm.
Mia from Terrifier 3, played by Alexa Robertson, and Harvey from The Substance, played by Dennis Quaid.
Man, I want to line all of these people up, just go for a big running takeoff and go past and slap all of them as I go past because I don't know. Like, um, so I contributed Alexa Roberts or Mia from Terrifier 3. So she was the podcaster who, was obsessed with
Oh,
Sienna and
yeah.
Jonathan
Oh,
and
yeah. She definitely needs a
was
slap.
yeah, my God, she was annoying. I thought Dennis Quaid in The Substance, he was just amazing in that smarmy, disgusting, creepy role. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, but look, Tashi, Art, Patrick, line yourselves up because I am slapping you with a gold cat trophy. Those three people irritated me more than anyone I saw in a film last year. I utterly loathed every one of those characters. Every time they were on screen, which was the entire movie, I just they make me want to act violently to quote soft play. So
Yeah.
yeah, I am easily giving the award to those three.
That film made me so angry and was really hard for me to get through. There was like one point at the very end where something gets revealed that made me actually interested in the outcome of what was
Mm.
happening at the end
Hmm.
until it just stopped. But I refuse to give them award because I hate them so much.
Oh, yeah, but it's a slap award.
Yeah, but I still hate them too much. So I'm giving it to Paul Atreides. from
Oh.
Dune Part Two. I haven't read the books, I don't know the story, and it greatly surprised me that they took the main character and just made him a complete jerk
Hmm.
for the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I like he was so bad that when there was the big fight at the end, I wanted him to lose. I just was like,
Yeah.
yeah, can we just kill him and just get it done?
I
So
agree. Yeah.
so yeah, he gets my award.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So congratulations. I don't know. Congratulations to Paul Atreides and Tashi Art and Patrick. You are all getting bitch slapped by the Dafcademy. Uh,
So Fraser Jubb also picked Paul Atreides.
mhm.
So yay us, he gets twice the slaps.
Yeah,
And then everyone else decided to go into the real world
they
with
did,
their awards, which
which is
is,
fair enough.
well, not really.
Oh, come on. It's
Um,
fun. It's a bit different, you know? Yeah.
Buffy Prescott picked the, I have to remember how to say the name,
Shyamalan. Yeah.
Shyamalan family because they released Trap and The Watchers.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, here we
JM
go.
had the terrible choice of slapping Todd Phillips and Scott Silver for Joker 2. And
Mm,
I saw his comments and I disagree. Like,
yeah.
JM, you're in that terrible crowd of people who are just so extremely harsh on that movie that I don't think is deserved. I
Hmm.
think everyone's just taken a natural dislike and just dialed it up to 11 because I don't know, everyone wants to hate on the movie.
Well, maybe he genuinely didn't enjoy it for, I mean, there is
But
that.
for such a venomous response to like his comments. So anyway, and then Nick from the Movie Emporium wants to slap America in general.
Which I can't disagree with. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm so happy that you got to read this one because especially for the Joker 2 thing, I'm just sitting here rubbing my hands together, go, here we
uh
go.
JM, you made me so sad with that comment.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, like JM's not the sort of person who jumps on bandwagons though. So
So he's
um
just got extremely
I
terrible taste.
oh wow. Oh
How can you like Maxine so much and just be so like I just don't understand so much hatred.
yeah. I look, I haven't seen it, but most of the people who I strongly agree with on movie opinions, like yourself and my friend Steve Kirkham, hello Steve. Yeah, like really enjoyed it, and I'm still looking forward to
I
checking
can
it out.
understand not enjoying it because there's elements that might not be
Mm.
to people's taste, but I don't
Mhm.
understand the extreme venom for the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, look, I can't really say too much because I haven't seen it, but
Yeah.
I get the feeling though that it was taken out of place and just blown up
I just feel
beyond
like,
belief.
yeah, every so often there's movies that come along that seem to be the big, this is the movie we all must hate
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
movie. And then it
exactly.
just goes. I mean, people even cared about how much the budget was like, or not even the
Mm.
budget, but how much Todd Phillips was given to make it like it was
Mm.
their own personal funds.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Which is just
Anyway,
ridiculous. But anyway, all
but
right.
I purposefully ordered our awards so that after all this negativity, we could go to happier things.
And I must say, you gave me the reaction I was hoping for from that category. So yeah, that was fantastic. All right, next one we have movie boyfriend or girlfriend. To clarify, this is the person who uh you or we would most like to have as a boyfriend or girlfriend, which is weird because I'm married, but this is all hypothetical, okay?
Yeah, these are
Yeah.
fictional characters. So,
Well, exactly. Yes. So fictional me, yeah, anyway. So starting off, we have Tyler from Twisters, played by Glenn Powell. We have Eric from A Quiet Place Day One, played by Joseph Quinn. Oh, we have Sienna Shaw from Terrifier 3, played by Lauren Larrera. We have Margaret from The First Omen, played by the oddly named Nell Tiger Free. We have Ellie from Roadhouse, played by Daniela Melchior. And we have Cobby from The Instigators, played by Casey Affleck. And for anyone who would like quality Casey astronaut merchandise, go to the Redbubble store. We've probably got links for it somewhere. I don't know. Write to us. We'll give you a link. Yeah, just anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, this one's obvious
Is
which
it?
ones each of us picked.
Oh, well, to us it's obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you could have picked some girls. I don't know.
I
I could have picked some dudes, but I didn't. So
Casey Affleck was my I can't like I there's a lot of men I like who have been in films in 2024, but the
Mhm.
characters they play have a lot of them
Mm,
have not been great people.
mhm,
So Casey Affleck's my borderline because he plays an ex-con, and so he's not the greatest character to be
mhm,
involved with, but he's funny and it's Casey Affleck, so
mhm,
that's add him on the list. And then Eric from A Quiet Place, played by Joseph Quinn, was really good. He was just seemed like a real person, like he was actually scared that and stressed out that this
mhm,
alien invasion thing was going on, and I
mhm,
quite liked that because you very rarely see especially male characters overcome with anxiety when
mm.
something insanely stressful is going on. And
Yeah, yeah.
so I just thought he was nice and I
Mhm,
like Joseph Quinn. And then Tyler from Twisters, which I know a lot of people thought he was super annoying at the beginning. And then as the movie goes on, they came to like him.
mhm,
But I just thought he was just kind of fun from the
mhm.
start. I mean, yeah, he's like annoying YouTuber, over the top guy, but that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I guess if we pick these people as our fictional relationships, does that mean we go into the movie? Because then, this
Oh.
whole like tornado chasing thing is, kind of fun. I mean,
Mm.
like in a fictional way, because
Well, the characters
obviously,
are part of that world and that universe and everything, so I guess it
yeah,
would mean that.
so, I
Oh
mean,
shit.
the
What have
apart
I
from
done?
going into like a fictional world,
Mm.
so I can feel safe
Yeah.
because it's been written, so I can just
Mm.
write it to not have anything drastically terrible happen.
Yeah.
Then it would be fun to go around doing all the tornado stuff with him
All right.
and his
So
team.
so Tyler is your choice?
Yeah.
All right. I wish I had thought of this whole thing of,
I actually
being
didn't
part of.
think about going into the movie because the
Yeah.
instigators, that would be extremely stressful situation. It's like a heist movie, a heist that
Right,
goes
right.
wrong movie.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's not a rule. I
Yeah.
just added that on as a Twisters thing
Hmm.
because I find like tornadoes really quite
Yeah, yeah.
fascinating in a scary kind of way. So you don't have to, that's not the rule that you have to go into the movie.
Yeah, because look, I chose my picks for completely superficial reasons, just because they're pretty to look at.
Well, I did
Uh
one for superficial reasons.
Not all of mine were superficial.
Well,
So
yeah, I could
yeah,
have done that, but I thought I would actually apply a
because
little
now
bit of real life and pick nice guys.
I'm thinking, what in God's name have I done? So I've got Sienna Shaw from Terrifier 3, who is a very broken individual, but I kind of feel like she has the strength to, that she would eventually get better. But she's in freaking Terrifier 3. Margaret from the first Omen. What was I thinking?
I was
What
surprised by that one. Like when
My
I saw the
God.
name, I was like, "Oh, who's that?" Because I'd forgotten what her name
Yeah.
was. And then
I
when I saw it
mean,
was her, I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay."
like she just looked amazing, and so of course I was like, oh, hearts in my eyes. Ellie from Roadhouse, I guess was kind of boring, but she is played by Daniela Melchior, so there's that.
Yeah.
Look, I regretfully am going to choose Sienna Shaw. That's probably no surprise.
No.
Lauren Lavera is kind of like just underneath underneath Margot Robbie, as far as celebrity crushes go for me. So there's that. But look, yeah, there is a fierceness to her character. I mean, she is that warrior angel kind of thing, and I know that she's deeply traumatized and all of that, but she'll get better. I can fix her. No.
It's interesting that you did that. I'm just thinking because Glenn Powell I really like, but not Like if I was just picking my favorite people for crushes and stuff, then I wouldn't have
Mm,
picked him.
right, right. So yeah, look, I'm going with
Character's
Sienna.
cool.
Look,
Interesting to
yeah, I've been with
pick
people
that kind of
who
person.
I've been with people before who went through mental illness issues and stuff, and it's you get through it one day at a time. It's fine. So yeah, it's all right, Sienna. I'm there for you. So,
I can
so yes,
fix you.
I can fix you. Yeah. So Tyler and Sienna, you are the winners of the Golden Cats and dinner and movie with us. I don't know. So People's Choice, Fraser Jubb has gone with Ruth, played by Margaret Qualley from Kinds of Kindness. And Buffy Prescott has chosen, is it Shani? Is that
No, I
Shani?
think it's something weird. I remember after watching the movie and when I saw it written, I was like, oh, that's her name because it sounded like
Yeah,
something else in the
that's what I'm
movie,
thinking as well. But anyway,
but I can't remember what it was.
the chick
But
played by Zendaya from June 2,
yeah,
like,
everyone knows who that is.
yeah, Kanai, Canoe. Yeah, her. Yeah, that's who he chose. So there you go. All right, moving on.
All right. Similar kind of theme, but taking us out of the equation.
Mm.
Best on screen chemistry also
Mhm.
obviously doesn't have to be romantic chemistry.
Yes.
So our nominees are Connor Sherry and Gabrielle LaBelle from Snack Shack, who are the two uh, main characters who are friends.
Hmm.
Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds from Deadpool and Wolverine. Lauren Lavera, haven't heard that name before. And Antonella Rose from Terrifier 3, Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse from Lisa Frankenstein, and Matt Damon and Casey Affleck from The Instigators.
This is a tough one. This is really tough. So, in case you're wondering, yeah, so Antonella Rose was Gabby, the cousin in Terrifier 3. And so when Sienna went to stay with her aunt and uncle, the little girl, and I just thought they had amazing on-screen chemistry, like the way they interacted with each other. And like it was really believable that they were family that hadn't seen each other for years and stuff. I thought they were great. Um, I haven't seen The Instigators. I haven't seen Snack Shack. It's oh man, Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse in Lisa Frankenstein was just so freaking cool. But I'm gonna go with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. The way that those two bounced off each other was just for me one of the absolute highlights of that film. I thought they worked so well together, and not only that, but like all the marketing leading up to it. Like I'll still remember the very first announcement of the film where Ryan Reynolds is sitting on a couch and talking about the upcoming Deadpool or whatever, and you just see Hugh Jackman in the background walking upstairs or something. And I was like, holy shit, like that's the announcement that Hugh Jackman's going to be in this thing, and like the way that those two did all the press junkets and everything. I know this is on screen chemistry, but like it all led to that. So yeah, I'm absolutely giving it to Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds for this one.
Well, the Instigators is a bit of a cheat, kind of like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, in that the actors are friends in real life. So it
Mm,
kind of course, they have the chemistry on screen because they are friends in real life
right,
as
yeah.
well. Like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, who I just love their like on social media,
Hmm.
just giving crap to each other all the time. It's really fun. And Catherine Newton and Cole Sprouse was really good too, especially because Cole Sprouse, he came very close to being a nominee for Best Actor because I thought he did a really good job considering like he's not speaking and doing a lot of facial expressions and invoking the whole like Johnny Depp, Tim Burton movie kind of
Hmm.
thing, which was really cool. But I got to give it to Connor Sherry and Gabrielle LaBelle in Snack Shack because
Ooh.
I really enjoyed them, and it felt like they had been friends for years, like
Hmm.
before this movie. Like they just
Hmm.
seemed like, yes, these actually are best friends.
Right, right.
So I really enjoyed them, and
Hmm.
yeah, like their relationship through what happens in the
Oh,
movie.
cool. I'm genuinely surprised that you didn't give it to Lauren LaFera and Antonella Rose for Terrifier 3. I thought that was a shoe-in from you, but
I was really
apparently
close
not.
for Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds because I do enjoy their banter, but
Mhm.
also Deadpool's a bit annoying. So
Well, yeah, but anyway. So People's Choice, who'd we have for this one?
Um, so uh Fraser Jubb picked Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds as well.
A no-brainer from him.
And Buffy Prescott chose Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding.
Hmm. Yes.
Which, yes, they were pretty good together. I had an issue with that movie that it was a bit insta love.
Mm.
So there was that. But if
Mm.
you take that out of it, then yeah,
Okay.
they did have really good chemistry together.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to, yes, another one that is very important to us. We now have the best score or soundtrack. So this is either the score, which is the orchestral music, or soundtrack, which is your song. So we don't discriminate around here. It's all music to us. So the nominees for best score soundtrack: Strange Darling, Twisters, Joker 2, for Folie à Deux, The Apprentice, Terrifier 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah.
This
So
was a
so
little bit hard for me to limit my nominations.
right.
I will say Joker 2 is me, of course, because you haven't seen it.
But I have
And
listened
that,
to the album.
okay,
Yeah,
that, did you?
yeah, I did. The Lady Gaga album.
That's not the soundtrack. That's an
Oh.
album that she did.
Oh, I thought those were songs that were in the
No,
movie.
well, yeah, but they're different versions because
Oh,
she
okay.
enjoyed being in that world because
Yeah.
her character in the movie is not a super fantastic singer that Lady Gaga is. So they're
Ah,
sung. So she had to kind
okay.
of hold herself back singing in the film.
Right. Oh, okay, that's interesting because yeah, when I listened to it, I actually thought those songs were in the film.
Well, they are, but some
But yeah, but
are
as that version, like,
no,
right,
no.
right, right. Okay, so yep, you're right. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Let's just,
I like both the soundtrack and the score for Joker
Mhm.
2,
Yep.
which is that Hilda, I can't remember her last name, who did the score for the first movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the returning themes, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Twisters has a whole lot of country artists doing songs, and it's a really long album, and there's lots of great songs on that. And
Mm-hmm.
being that kind of more action type movie, the songs are used really well in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But my pick has to go to Strange Darling. That was one album done by one singer who is Zeeberg, I guess, being American, because it's just the
Mm-hmm.
letter Z. So
Right,
Zeeberg,
right.
Zedberg, however you want to do it. I think her name is, no, I don't remember what her name is. Maybe Zoe, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, a shortened thing of her name. Anyway, um, that music stood out so much for me when I was watching that movie. It was one of those where as soon as I got out of the movie, I am looking up online to find out who was singing and listening to it. And I listened to that so much,
Mm-hmm.
like even till now, like ever since I went to see that at the cinema. And it
Mm-hmm.
even has a cover of Love Hurts, which is a song I typically don't enjoy, but the way that she sings it, and also has Keith Carradine singing with her, and
Right.
I really like it. So
Okay.
that gets my cat statue.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, for me, there's a few odd choices in here. I mean, yeah, Terrifier 3, there was just some fantastic songs. Like I said, the aforementioned Christmas song just cracks me up every time I hear it. But the music was really good. Everything, yeah. The Apprentice I chose, that was a movie I only saw recently, but it did a really cool thing of using songs to define what decade you're now in, rather than coming up on screen with, like, 1980 or 80 something or whatever. Like, they would actually play a song. And I guess, if you're not really that familiar with music of various times, you're probably not going to really follow. But I thought it was used very cleverly. But look, I'm absolutely going with Deadpool and Wolverine for this one because, like, I'm just looking at it. It's just such a fun soundtrack. I mean, Bye Bye Bye, Angel of the Morning, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, Power of Love, from Back to the Future was in there. Lady in Red, just there's so many Make Me Lose Control by Eric Carmen. I'm not saying these are great songs, but it's just kind of fun having all of these cheesy songs in the
Oh,
one
Iris is a
place.
great song.
Well, yeah. Like there's just so many cheesy songs in there, and I dig it. So yeah, I actually thought that was a good time, that soundtrack. So yeah, so I'm giving my kitty cat to Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, Strange Darling, you said, wasn't it?
Yes.
So yes, Strange Darling, Deadpool and Wolverine. Congratulations, gold cat statues for you. Maybe ones with like a little gramophone or something,
Hmm.
like a Grammy award. Um, and yes, so People's Choice for this one. Oh, you're gonna make me read it, aren't you? Okay, fair enough. Well, let's start with Fraser Jubb. He gave his award to The Substance, which again I only saw recently. Loved it so much we went and bought the Blu-ray. I do vaguely remember the music being really good in that film. Got to watch it again, pay more attention to the music because to me the
Mm.
visuals were just everything. But yeah, and then Buffy Prescott has given his award to the Challengers soundtrack by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Yeah, in
So,
the minority for that. I already knew before because I wasn't going to watch the movie because it didn't seem like my kind of movie. But then I was misguided by people saying it was really great and that it was a tennis movie.
mm,
And I don't feel like it's a tennis movie. I feel like
mm,
it's about people who play tennis. So there's a bit of tennis in it.
mm,
But yeah. And so I knew that people were going nuts about the soundtrack before I
mm,
saw it. And it was Trent Reznor. So I was like, oh,
mm,
I'm looking forward to this. And
of
I
course.
can't, it just didn't, I liked how it was used in certain scenes,
Mm,
but I didn't feel the desire to go seek it out and listen to it after the movie. And
mm.
I actually can't even really remember what it was like now.
Yeah.
It's been a
There was
long
one
time.
day I was sitting at work and I don't know what possessed me, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to give the soundtrack a go because, oh, no, that's right. I do know what possessed me. I thought maybe listening to the soundtrack externally, like away from the film, maybe it might be, the music itself might be enjoyable. I personally didn't find it was, and that yeah song was just grating to look.
I don't even
And
remember what that is.
oh my God. So to Buffy Prescott, look, we appreciate the fact that you loved it so much, and that's we wish we could. For me personally, I when I was listening to it, I actually wish I had a pair of knitting needles that I could just plunge into my ear holes to make the pain go away. Yes, that's right, the pain go away of listening to that god awful. Yeah, anyway. No, Buffy Prescott, well done. Challenges soundtrack. Woohoo! Yeah. Uh, all right. Here we go.
Okay, so next, normally I would think of ending with this, but because we have already done an episode kind of covering it,
Mm,
we thought we'd just do it a little bit earlier so we don't finish on it. But that is best movie.
yep,
So if you've listened to our favorite 11 episode, you know what our favorite movies are,
you do.
unless they have changed because we've both watched a few since
Ooh,
the episode. But our
controversy.
nominees are, we have a few extra ones for this because it's the
Yeah.
big one.
Oh yeah.
So nominees are Longlegs, Snack Shack, Lisa Frankenstein, Anora, Twisters, Terrifier 3, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Late Night with the Devil, The Substance, and The First Omen.
Which I can proudly say, unlike the Oscar awards, that there are only two movies on this that I have not seen, which were Snack Shack and Anora. Everything else I've actually, oh no, Twisters. God damn you. Three movies that I haven't seen.
I have not seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I know you haven't seen any of the Planet of the Apes.
No.
Unlike the Oscars, where there are now two movies that I have actually seen, one of them which I didn't actually like, but thankfully, yes, got to see The Substance recently. So, yeah, my God, there are so many great films on this list. I mean, Yeah, Long Legs, brilliant. Lisa Frankenstein, so much fun. Um, Terrifier 3 was my favorite movie of last year. It wasn't the best movie of last year, but it was my favorite movie of last year, which I know you're kind of like, yeah, but anyway, shut up. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, when I first saw that, that was just 5 stars, best movie of the year at that point. Um, Late Night with the Devil, so creative and brilliant and fun. The substance on a technical level was just mind blowing. And The First Omen, such a great horror film and such an amazing prequel. Like it actually worked really well as a prequel. Yeah, can't wait to see Snack Shack. Really looking forward to Honora and Twisters, but my opinion hasn't changed. I'm still exactly the same way. Even though Terrifier 3 was my favorite movie of last year and I could watch it like once a week for the rest of my life,
Gosh.
Long Legs to me was just the best movie in terms of quality, in terms of making me really feel something deep down, and it just got right under my skin, and it was so brilliantly crafted, so many amazing performances and characters. The production design was just outstanding. Everything just felt so real. It was shocking. I love that it turned into a like it went full horror movie at the end, like supernatural horror. Because yeah, you sort of had like two movies. Like there was the detective thriller and then absolute horror. Yeah, so I still think that was the best movie of last year. Over to you.
Mm. Yeah, lots of good films. I enjoyed all except one of these that I've seen that I would put, or two maybe, that probably
Mhm.
wouldn't make well, didn't make
Well,
my
you've got to
list.
reveal for the audience what those two are.
Um, I didn't love Terrifier 3,
Hmm.
and I enjoyed Late Night with the Devil, but it was not close to my top 11,
Fair enough.
based on the other things that
Hmm.
I saw afterwards.
Yeah.
Although I do actually, I forgot to add in when we started to include this that David Dasmalchian probably should have been nominated somewhere for
Yeah.
that.
Wow,
That's the problem with
we
late editions.
it is. We dissed the Dalmatian. He, yeah, could have easily been best actor, coolest actor, freaking probably hair, I don't know. Anyway, that's fine.
Definitely best suit.
Oh yeah.
Um,
No, we're not having
so
that as a category next year. No.
um, so yeah, I Nora I absolutely love. That's what I hope would win the Oscar of the
Hmm.
ones I've seen, because it was so good and it was very fun. It's got some dark things, but it's also a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And Snack Shack surprised me, not that it was good because I love Dinner in America, but it kind of over the year crept up my list until it became, I think it was number two on my list.
Right.
Lisa Frankenstein, of course, is one of those movies that's made for me. But Longlegs is still my number one.
Yeah.
I love Osgood Perkins. I've loved all his movies to different levels, but I've loved them
Mm.
all. And we have the monkey this year. So
Mm.
can he take 2 years in a row? We shall
Yep,
see.
we shall.
But yeah, I knew exactly, well, I guessed exactly the kind of movie we were going to get with Longlegs because I had seen his previous films. I know there are a lot of people who hadn't seen any of his films and didn't know his style. And so were surprised by the
Mm.
type of movie that it was. And I guess that kind of movie making is not for everyone,
Mm.
but it is for me. And I greatly enjoyed it. And yeah,
Hmm.
Nicolas Cage, that was, and
Yeah.
just the weirdness of it as well, like the opening and the singing, and
Mm.
just yeah, there's, and just it was really pretty as well. Like there's a shot
Mm.
where Longlegs is just standing on a road and it's kind of nowhere,
Mm.
and I'm like, oh, I just want a shot of that image, just like landscape behind and everything. Just
Yeah.
yeah, there were lots of cool things,
Hmm.
and yeah, just a really good atmosphere and creepy
Nice.
soundtrack
Yep.
score thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's still my best movie of 2024.
Well done, Longlegs. Here's a pair of cats for being the best thing we saw all year. Yeah.
People's Choice. Fraser Job has suggested The Substance as his winner.
Hmm.
Buffy Prescott also thinks Longlegs. And
You're
Nick
redeemed.
from the Movie Emporium has Flow, which, as we said, is not out here yet,
Hmm.
so we have not seen it. But
Yeah,
I'm looking
very
forward to
curious.
it because I've
Yeah.
heard a lot of good things.
Hmm.
I have also heard, though, that it's quite stressful to
Hmm.
watch. So,
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know about that.
well, because the plot is like, this cat's journeying and with the other animals trying to
Hmm.
do something I can't remember or just to survive or whatever. So I just
Hmm.
think it's that kind of movie where there's some stressful moments where things are going on. I don't know. I've heard a couple of people say that. I don't think it's like, you know, bad movie, but just
Hmm.
that there's some stuff to, I guess it's like A Quiet Place Day One, like with the cat. There were
Hmm.
some really stressful moments
Right, right.
that to worry about the
Hmm.
cat and
Okay.
everything. So yeah.
Right.
So just be prepared.
Okay. All right, moving on, another very Dafcademy type category. We are moving on now to the most insane performance. Starting with probably no surprise whatsoever, Nicolas Cage for Longlegs. We've got Laurie Pavey for Mads, who played Anus. Nope. Ane,
Mm.
Ane. Okay. David Howard Thornton for Terrifier 3 as Art the Clown. Conor McGregor for Roadhouse as Knox. Dan Stevens for Cuckoo as Herr Koenig. And Dennis Quaid in The Substance as Harvey. Wow,
Yeah,
this is going to be tough.
it's a good group of people, and I
Hmm.
have seen all the movies, so it's kind of fun when you just know all the people.
I've not seen Cuckoo, but yeah, that's the only one. So yeah. All right. Tell us about these insane people. What's your thoughts?
Well, Dan Stevens is just a weirdo kind of insane, and
Hmm.
also like things are revealed through the movie that just makes him seem a bit more insane.
Hmm.
And um, I just I just love Dan Stevens, and I love
Hmm.
his choices. Like he,
Hmm.
it seems to be a lot of the time his thing for the characters that he picks.
Right,
So
right.
that's really good. And
Hmm.
Laurie Pavey was also a nomination for me because her performance, the fact that Mads was filmed all in one take
Mm.
and that she had to act the way that she did.
Hmm.
And if you don't know, Mads is kind of like a virus type movie. So
Mm.
um, yeah, people are being affected by this and have to deal with what's going on and trying to survive and whatever.
Hmm.
Very well done, especially that it was actually filmed in
Yeah.
one take and there's multiple
Genuinely.
locations, so
Hmm.
they were following people from one place to another.
Hmm.
And yeah, she just did such a great performance to just well, all of them, but especially her, to just be on screen for so long,
Mm.
and it's one take, so you just got to keep going and just doing what you're doing for the whole
Mm.
time.
Yeah.
But obviously, and Conor McGregor, yeah, yeah,
We
insane.
talked about him, yeah.
Yeah, and Dennis Quaid we talked about too, like
Hmm.
just such a fun, awful person.
Mm.
But yeah, Art, of course, you know, we all
Mm.
know his personality through the movies and that he is definitely insane.
Oh yeah.
But I could give it to Nicolas Cage
Hmm.
because like I said earlier, I just had the most gleeful smile on my face every time he was on screen because yeah, it just it's really such a different performance, such a different character in a film, and I just
Mm.
absolutely loved it.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, so haven't seen Cuckoo. Yeah, my goodness. This is tough for me. So I talked about Conor McGregor before, like that, he was just freaking crazy, but in a violent sort of crazy. So it obviously came down for me between Nicolas Cage and David Howard Thornton. Now, this is where it gets controversial. obviously, and I even said before, Nicolas Cage gave the most insane, like, realistic portrayal of insanity. Um, but I'm going with David Howard Thornton, and I'll tell you why. Because I just kind of, for me, for my taste personally, I preferred the wacky, over the top, comedic sort of insane. You know what I mean? Like they were two different levels of insane. Like Nicolas Cage, was genuinely scary because he appeared like he came across as actually insane. David Howard Thornton was just a fun insane. Like, you know, this guy has just absolutely no differentiate differentiation between right and wrong. He just ticks every clinical definition of insanity. And yeah, I just thought his version of insane just appealed to me more. So as much as I appreciated Nicolas Cage's performance, I'm giving my golden cat to David Howard Thornton because, yeah, I love the character of Art the Clown. I just think it's so refreshing that we actually have a horror villain, a slasher villain that is worthy, in a lot of people's opinion, of being amongst the horror greats like your Freddys and Jasons and Chuckies and Michaels and all of that. Like, yeah, didn't really think we'd ever see someone come along that was worthy of the annals. But yeah, so congratulations, Nicolas Cage, David Howard Thornton. You both insanely earn a golden cat for being crazy bastards. Yes, so we had a couple of People's Choice, and yeah, they were both Fraser Jubb and Buffy Prescott, both Nicolas Cage long legs. So I know I'm in the minority here, but yeah, like I said, that was just my kind of crazy. So yeah, well done, Nick. All right.
Okay, we're in the final two awards.
We are.
First up, Best Actor.
Yeah, this is a bit more your real awards now.
Yeah, there's some that we've just got to do.
Yeah, got to balance it.
So we have Karen Culkin for A Real Pain,
Hmm.
Yura Borisov for Anora, Nicolas Cage for Longlegs, Owen Teague for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, and Jesse Plemons for Kinds of Kindness.
And see, again, we do things differently. Owen Teague gets a nomination for, even though it was a motion capture character. Like, so yeah, he was Noah in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and that character was just mind blowing. But yeah, I think that's the thing with motion capture CG characters now, because it is so much the actor that is going into it, in terms of facial expressions, voice acting, like everything about it. So yeah. I really appreciated Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. I thought the movie itself was kind of hit and miss. Like I gave it 2.5 stars. It's in the middle, but the way that he portrayed Donald Trump was amazing. And apparently this dude just immersed himself in tape recordings of
Ugh.
Donald's, voice back in the day. And apparently Sebastian's like really good at imitation, and so yeah, he did a really great job. Look, I haven't seen A Real Pain. I haven't seen Anora, All Kinds of Kindness. So basically it came down to three movies for me. But I'm once again giving this to Nicolas Cage. Because in terms of transforming himself into a character, and into a character that, I know there was a lot of Nicolas Cage in it. I know that, he was told to go full Cage with this one and stuff, but that performance was amazing. I mean, as I said before, he scared the shit out of me. Just anytime he was just on screen, I felt uncomfortable. And for an actor to put that into a character, like to make me feel something on that kind of level, I just appreciate that so goddamn much. So yeah, I'm easily giving this one to Nicolas Cage out of all of them. So yeah.
Well, I have four because I have not seen two of those movies.
Hmm.
Jesse Plemons and Kinds of Kindness was really good because that movie is split into three separate stories. So he's playing three different characters in the
Ah,
movie.
okay,
And
nice.
um, they're all interesting, they're all weird. So that, they're pretty funny and some of the things that happen.
Hmm.
So he was really good in that. Nicolas Cage, of course, like you just said, so I
Yeah.
don't need to say anymore. Yuri Borisov in Anora was really interesting. That's more of a sort of contained performance, but he just is one of those actors that he just stood out a lot, even when he wasn't doing much.
Hmm.
And yeah, he was a really interesting character. So you need to see that movie so we
I
can
really
talk
do.
about
I
it.
know. I know.
But
See,
I am giving it to Kieran Culkin in a real pain because
nice.
yeah, his portrayal of Benji, although it's funny because I've seen press with him and Jesse Eisenberg,
Hmm.
and they both seem so much like their characters. So, like the personality and everything. So, it's really quite interesting that the movie characters are kind of like an extension of themselves.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, his performance in that was just really good. And
Okay.
yeah, there's a reason why he's nominated for so many awards. I would love
Mm.
him to win. I
Mm.
feel like he probably won't, but I would
Mm.
like him to win.
Cool.
So yeah, he gets my pick.
Excellent. Kieran
Hmm.
Culkin, Nicolas Cage, you both get yourselves a shiny gold kitty cat for being amazing thespians. Yeah.
And we have some People's Choice.
Mm.
Fraser Jubb picks Hugh Grant in Heretic, which
Hmm.
was also a very good performance.
Hmm.
Buffy Prescott picks Sebastian Stan in A Different Man, which is a film I did not enjoy as much as other people, although I did like where it goes at the end.
Hmm.
It goes a bit, well, it goes to a fun place.
Right.
And JM picked Kevin Bacon from Maxine.
He did.
Mm.
Although, yeah, he was a little bit torn between Kevin Bacon and Nicolas Cage, but he wound up going with the Bacon. So yeah, there you go. All right, we are down to our final category, which is Best Actress, starting with uh, the one that everybody is talking about at the moment, Demi Moore for The Substance. We have Nell Tiger Free for The First Omen, Naomi Scott for Smile 2, Micah Munro for Longlegs, Lauren Lavera for Terrifier 3, and Mikey Madison for Anora. Man, there are some great
That's,
performances in this
yeah,
list, aren't there? Like, I
that's a good
actually,
list.
it is a good list, and I reckon the women outacted the men last year. I do.
Mm.
In terms of overall, like,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I had the woman straight away. Well, I had
Mm.
too many straight away, so I
Mm.
had to think about it. Whereas Best
Mm.
Actor was a little bit more thinking. It wasn't like instantly
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Hmm. Look, yeah, having recently seen The Substance, yeah, I see what everyone is saying. Demi Moore was absolutely amazing. I reckon she will get the Oscar for this one. And
Well, yeah, because besides her performance in the movie, there is a lot of people saying she might get it as one of those career awards
yeah,
that they give out.
but it is deserved, I think.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that gives her
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah,
chance to get it than just the movie
absolutely.
itself. Because,
Um,
everyone's going on about it, but at the same time, it's a horror movie. So,
hmm,
and we know that they're not really into
Generally
horror
snubbed,
movies. So
yeah.
it's kind
Oh, but
of
it does have
surprising.
messages. It does have themes and important social relevance and bullshit. Um, Nell Tiger Free in The First Omen, yeah, she was so goddamn good. You
Mm.
really felt for her character. And yeah, that performance was just amazing, especially with everything that the character goes through and stuff. And same with Naomi Scott. Yeah, the way that film was not analogy, a metaphor for substance abuse. Her performance was incredible. Micah Munro, we talked about earlier. Lauren Lavera, aside from me obviously wanting to pick her, but I really, I don't know if you agree with this because you weren't a big fan of the film, but like I thought her performance of someone who's going through trauma, I thought was so believable, especially that bit where the stupid bitch podcaster is like nagging her, like, oh my God, I can't believe tell me what it was like, surviving out the clan. The way she just snaps at her, like every time I watch that scene, it sends chills up my spine. Like it's sort of like, holy shit, I really believed her. And everything I've heard about Mikey Madison in Anora has just got me wanting to see that film so
Mm.
freaking much. Um, but yeah, I out of everyone, I'm going with Micah Monroe for this one, and it's for all the reasons
Wow.
I discussed earlier. The fact that she just, and again, the same with Nicolas Cage, like she transformed herself into this other person and was so different to who she normally is and everything. And yeah, that performance was just so amazing. So yeah, that's my pick for this one.
Hmm. I really liked Naomi Scott in Smile too. I don't know her from anything else, so this was kind
Okay.
of my introduction to her. And I guess it
Right.
helps that, the fun thing of her being a famous singer. So you get a
Mm,
lot of like, the place she lives looks really
mm,
cool, and you get all the like dance rehearsals and like fan signings and all that kind
mm,
of stuff, which is really fun.
hmm.
And so that was good. But she kind of loses in a strong year.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
exactly.
there's
Yeah.
there's a lot again. And Nell Tiger Free in The First Omen was so great. That was a movie that I really enjoyed when I first watched it. And then later in the year, I was like, was it really that good? And it
Mm,
was one that I watched again to be sure when I
hmm.
was finalizing my favorites. And I was like, oh yeah, it's really, the end is a bit not great. But
Right, right.
most of the film up until that point is really good.
Hmm.
And Micah Monroe, I did enjoy in Long Legs, but I just couldn't like. I know that she's doing a good performance,
Hmm.
that she's acting that way, but because she is that way,
Mm.
it just didn't really stand out as
Okay.
much to me because
Right,
of
right.
the type of character that it was.
Hmm.
For a long time, I had Demi Moore as my favorite because that is a really good performance. And I do, I would be happy if she wins.
Mm.
But I'm doing a last minute change in my
Oh,
alliances.
Lauren Lavera. Wow,
Mikey
well done.
Madison,
Oh.
because I keep thinking about her and I keep thinking about Honora, and
Yeah, right.
I'm looking forward to it being released so I can buy it and add it to my collection and watch it again, because yeah,
Hmm.
it surprised me because when I knew what it was about, I thought it was going to be a darker film and I
Hmm.
didn't expect so much comedy in it.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's really fun. And
Right,
so
right.
because of that, even when there's darker stuff, it
Mm.
doesn't drag you down too much because so much of the movie is fun. And so
Hmm.
I would like her to win. I feel like she probably won't
Mm.
because of Demi Moore,
Yeah.
but if they are, well, I mean, I haven't seen all the films. I can't remember who else is nominated. But if it came
Mm.
down to the two of them, I would be happy with either of them winning,
Yeah, yeah,
which
right.
is pretty cool.
Okay. God, you had me there. I really seriously thought you were about to throw Lauren into the top spot. You're gonna be like, you know what? Even though I wasn't a big fan of the film, like that performance just that did it for me. It sold me. But no, oh well, that's fine. And so who we got for People's Choice?
That was your award.
Was it my award? Did I do this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did the last one. There you go. Hey, look, we're nearly in the end of the show, and I don't know what's going on. So People's Choice, we had Fraser Jubb who gave us Demi Moore for The Substance. So there you go. You ended up with an honorary kitty cat, and Buffy Prescott shared the glory of Mikey Madison for Anora, which yeah, my God. Out of everything that we've talked about, I think I want to see that movie more than anything right now because yeah, it's just it's an award-winning film. Like, yeah, probably not just our awards, I'm sure it's won other ones, but
It
as of the
has.
most important. Um, all right, well, there you go. That's the first Dafcademy Awards. So yes, thank you to everybody who has tuned in. I hope you had so much fun with this, and we would love to know what some of your picks are. So if you are watching this on YouTube, fire away down below in the comments. Don't be afraid to talk to us. If you are listening to this, you can find us on social media. We are on Blue Sky, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook. I am not going to worry about giving you handles and things because they're all different. If you just Google Dan and Frankie Go to Hollywood, you are guaranteed to find us. Alternatively, you can email us at Dan and Frankie podcast at either Gmail or Outlook.com. And yeah, come and get a conversation going. Let us know what some of your favorite movies of 2024 were. Like, by all means, what were some of the ones that we missed? Because I'm sure, like, out of so many movies, like this is only the ones that we've seen. So yeah, we'd love to know what some of your choices were. So yes, thank you, Frankie, for everything, being, the brainchild behind this. And no, hang on, this is the brainchild. I don't know how to use that word. I look, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so yeah. No, yes, thank you for coming up with this whole thing. This has been so much fun. Did you have a great time?
I did. It was fun. I look forward to next year's one. Hopefully, 2025 gives us a whole lot of good movies as well.
Yes, and hopefully we will actually keep track of the movies throughout the year this time round, rather than leaving it till what, like 2 days before we're supposed to do this thing and madly scrambling through all the films that we saw and trying to remember um anything about them. So no, that just made it more exciting, I'm sure. But yeah, no, thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back again next week with our normal podcast episode. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, until then, stay safe, watch lots of movies, and bye for now.